What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Ariana Chanel, and I am back and better than ever with our Love and Hip Hop recaps. This time, Love and Hip Hop New York premiered Monday night at 8 p.m. So if you missed it, don't worry, because I'm here to fill you guys all in. So the show first opens up with Joe, giving his little spiel about what love and hip hop really is. And then we move on to Joe and Sin. And I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love their relationship. They're always so happy and bubbly. So, it welcomes them up with a big old house. And Joe comes down and brings baby Lexington. And he's the cutest thing ever. But they kind of, open up about their one real issue in their marriage right now, which is that they're not fucking. So Sin says that they used to fuck 4 to 6 times a day. Mind you, Sin is like real young. She's like 27, 28, I think, and Joe's old. So of course their sex drive's a little different, but ever since she had the baby, she feels like he doesn't want to have sex with her, and she just feels like not sexy enough. Then we move on to Joe meeting up with Safari and Rich Dollaz. Of course, Rich Dollaz is back. He seems like he cannot leave this show. He's been on since day one. And so, they're all catching up, and Safari brings up the whole Lyrica situation. Now, I don't know if y'all watched Love and Hip Hop Hollywood last season, but there was rumors going around that, Lyrica and Safari were smashing, but he said that is not true. He said all of the allegations were fabricated. So we just gonna leave it at that. We just gonna say they ain't never messed around. However, I believe differently. So then we move on to my favorites, Juelz and Kimbella. They've been rocking with Love and Hip Hop New York for quite some time now. If y'all remember, Kimbella was on the show a couple years ago, and they had their own issues going on at the time. This time, Juelz is on house arrest. So the story that came out in the blogs was that Juelz went to the airport, had a gun in his bag, and he fled. The story he told Love and Hip Hop was that he didn't know the gun was in there, one, and when they told him he couldn't go on the plane, so he said, okay, I'm gonna just politely leave. He said he didn't flee the scene, and he wasn't aware that there was a gun in his bag until he heard it on the radio. So then, of course, he turned himself in, and so now he's on house arrest. But the big thing is that Kimbella and Juelz are not married. So by law, he cannot stay in their home. He has to stay in a condo that he shares with his mom. His mom's there a lot. So that's crazy. Then we move back on to Safari, and Safari says he wants to go to Dyckman to perform. Now, all my New Yorkers, if y'all know what Dyckman is, it's like this big old they were doing this big old basketball tournament, and artists perform. A lot of hood niggas perform there. Like it's a hood black, you know what I'm saying? And so if y'all know Safari is not hood whatsoever. However, he is so tempted to go perform, but when he performs, they end up booing him off the stage, and they start throwing stuff at him, and the video goes viral and like goes on the internet. I'm not sure if y'all remember, it's the same video where he was like, oh, I fuck the bitches y'all dream about. So after that, it was a wrap. So Love and Hip Hop loves to do a lot of cuts back to scenes. So we move back to Juelz and Kimbella, and this time Kimbella is popping up at Juelz condo, and she's there to meet with a therapist. So they're talking, and Juelz really opens up about his substance abuse problem. So he said he got dental work, and that required him to take like he was taking popping perks. Like he was addicted to perks, and he was addicted to lean too. Most rappers are, and it really put a strain on their relationship. But Kimbella's just fed up because she's like, it's always something. If it ain't the disrespect, it's the cheating. And if it ain't the cheating, it's the drugs. But she says still remain loyal. So she a real one. She's a real one. But he apologizes and said, I'm really going to try to work better. So we'll see how their relationship progresses on this season. Now, to my surprise, Alexis Chi is on Love and Hip Hop New York this season. Now, she was on Hollywood a couple seasons ago, where she had that whole situation with Masika and Fetty and all that extra shit. But she's back, and now she wants to do music. Don't they all want to do music? Woo, child. I'm not sure how her music gonna sound, but you know what? I'm gonna give it up to her. But she got signed to Treyway. Now, if y'all know who Treyway is, he also is signed with Fetty, like same label, everything. So Fetty is Alexis Chi baby daddy, but supposedly, allegedly, Fetty has not been around for his kid Alea whatsoever. So she Treyway is asking her like, oh, okay, well, how you gonna feel about, you know, Fetty coming through? Next thing you know, y'all know Fetty come through the door and she acting like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm just really hurt, like, da-da-da. Because he hasn't been there since the birth of her daughter. Now, the birth of her daughter was a very hard one because both her and her daughter could have almost lost their life. It was a very dangerous pregnancy. And she's like a miracle baby in Alexis' eyes. So she's like, why won't you acknowledge your daughter? Fetty won't even take a paternity test. Honestly, I don't think that the kid is his. I'm not sure. I just think he needs to take the paternity test and move forward so he can figure out if he's going to take care of this child. So she's like, Treyway's like, look, y'all can't keep mixing this personal with business because it's not going to work. But Alexis promised, she was like, look, I'm not going to try to do it, but at the same time, he needs to take care of his daughter. That's her whole argument. So now we got my boy Mano on Love and Hip Hop New York, which I'm so excited about. And he introduces himself, tells the world what he got going on. And then he brings up a situation that happened at his last performance. So at his last show, there was a big shootout. Midst of the shootout, his girl Maggie actually gets shot in the leg. So she gets shot in the leg, and y'all know, like, that's just probably some mind-blowing, fucked up shit that's probably going on in her head. She don't want to go nowhere for real. She just feels unsafe. But Mano got to get this money, whether or not there's a shootout or not. He gonna get this money. So that's kind of what he was discussing with his fellow friends. And so Joe, tells him about the whole Safari situation. And Mano, like a real nigga, is like, nah, I'm really not fucking with Safari because how you gonna go on indictment and be, out here rapping about you got a 9, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if y'all know that song, honey, like the Swish Swish song. Okay, anyways. So how you gonna be rapping all that? But you on Angie Martinez's show crying about getting robbed. That's a good question. Good question. And Joe's like, yeah, like he be acting hood, but you really not hood. So then we jump to the girls meeting for the first time. Kimbella, Sin, and Alexis. And they're kind of just all sharing their little tea. Alexis explains the situation with Fetty, how she just wants to move forward and take care of her child. Then Sin talks about like how she just doesn't feel sexy because Joe don't want to fuck her. But Kimbella gives her some good advice. She says sometimes you just gotta be like, take your dick out. And that's true, Kimbella. That's very true. Sometimes you just have to take control as a woman. So Sin says she's gonna plan this big old thing for Joe, and hopefully they'll have sex then. So now Safari pulls up on Joe, and he wants to talk about his performance because he's still feeling like really crazy. Because in the midst of his performance, the thing that really went viral was the fact that he said, I fuck the bitches y'all dream about. First of all, that's a terrible comeback if people are throwing stuff at you. So Joe kind of just keeps it real with him and is like, look, if you want to be hard, you better act like you hard and not be on radio shows crying. But if you know you're not hard, don't be out here saying you got a 9 and you're going to shoot some niggas. Like, it just can't work like that. Like, you have to remain true to yourself. And he brought up a good point how Safari's audiences is women. So why not, really, like, take advantage of that and make a market? So then we move on to towards the end of the show, and Joe has his own podcast, the Joe Budden Podcast. It's a great podcast if you haven't listened, but he did a live show in New York. So towards the end of the show, they're like, oh, y'all got any questions? Sin stands up and is like, I got a question. And she's just like, am I the best thing that you ever had, basically? And he was like, yeah, of course. So that kind of just set the mood for the rest of the night. And so they get in the car, and she tries to put her titties in his face, or that I just try to put it on him. And how first he's like with it, and then she's like, okay, so I got us a room in New York. Lex is with the nanny. So what's up? Let's go back to this room. He tells her. He says, nah, I wanna go home. And that just really pissed her off, because as a woman, if your girl did all this for you and you tell her you want to go home, nah, it's over. So she gets out the car real upset, you don't give a fuck, I'm going to this fucking hotel, if you're not gonna come, fuck you type shit. So that's that. And he's just like, man, women are just so difficult, because he does not understand that him not wanting to have sex with her is making her feel less of a woman. So we end the show off with Juelz being able to spend a day out with his family despite that he's on house arrest. The judge actually ordered it. And on his visit, he gets a call from his lawyer. His lawyer gives him a big decision. He either has to take a plea deal or go to trial. If he takes a plea deal, he'll be facing 18 to 24 months. It's a pretty long time away from your family. But if he doesn't take the plea deal and he takes this to trial, if he doesn't win, he could face 5 years, and that's even longer. So now he's just faced on this decision on what he should do. So the show ends just like that, and then of course we get a huge super trailer for what's to come for this whole season. And I'm really feeling the season. It seems like it's gonna be real family oriented, but we're still gonna have that drama. So make sure you guys tune in to Love and Hip Hop New York next week on VH1 at 8 p.m. And then go ahead and tune into my IGTV at 9 to get a full recap.